This is the morning of the 11th of November. I came across this clip, and I don't know if it's CGI or if it's unreal or real, but I definitely enjoyed watching it. I think you will as well. Put up by People and Animals. Title, Bear Finds Rager Tied to a Tree. What happened next shocked everyone. You really don't want to watch this clip. Just go right to the link. It's pretty incredible. Plays for 10.5 minutes. Have a listen.
I came to and found myself tied to a tree. The ropes cut so deep into my body that I could not move. The poachers had beaten me and left me here to die. Revenge for years of fighting against their illegal hunting. But that wasn't the worst part. A massive brown bear stood only a few steps away, its amber eyes fixed right on me. The air hung in a deadly silence. Suddenly, the animal rose up on its hind legs, towering about 10 feet above me. A huge paw swung upward. I squeezed my eyes shut, saying goodbye to life. The blow came. But instead of sharp claws tearing into me, I felt only a strong jolt near my shoulder. The powerful strike had hit the rope around the trunk. The bear struck again. Another hit, again against the ropes. The giant predator wasn't aiming at me. An unbelievable thought flashed in my mind. This animal was trying to set me free. The bear dropped back onto all fours and came closer, its muzzle just inches from my face. It sniffed me, growling softly, then gripped the thick rope with its teeth and pulled with all its strength. The rope stretched tight but didn't give way. It was wet from the night dew and tied too tight to break. The bear growled in frustration and slammed its paw against the trunk so hard that pieces of bark flew off. It began tearing at the ropes with its claws, working with almost surgical precision, trying to rip apart the knots. Its movements were careful, as if the animal understood that one wrong strike of those powerful paws could rip my shoulder apart. That was when I saw it, a long, uneven scar on its side, partly hidden by fur, but still clearly visible. I froze, unable to believe my eyes. 3 years earlier, in early spring, I had found a tiny bear cub trembling beside the body of its dead mother. Poachers had shot the mother, and the cub had been wounded trying to protect her. The wound on its side was deep and torn. I took the cub to my small cabin and cared for it for 2 weeks, cleaning the wound, stitching it, feeding it from a bottle. When the cub grew stronger, I released it back into the forest. Until today, I had never seen it again. "Little one," I croaked, my voice shaking. "Is that really you?" The bear twitched its ear, a small sign that it was listening. It stopped biting the rope and looked straight into my eyes. In that gaze, there was recognition, memory, a bond that had never been broken. The animal gently touched its nose to my cheek. Then the first howl came, distant but clear. The bear froze instantly, its ears turning toward the sound. Another howl followed, then a third. It was a pack of gray wolves, and they were getting closer. The bear didn't leave me. Instead, it attacked the ropes with double fury. It tore at them with its claws, bit them with powerful jaws that clamped down on the thick strands. One of the ropes began to unravel, its fibers snapping one by one. A sharp pull, and the rope broke. My hands gained a little more freedom, but I was still tied. Gray shadows flickered between the tree trunks. The first wolf appeared from behind a bush, a large gray male, its yellow eyes staring straight at us. Behind him came the second, then the third. There were already 6 of them. The pack was slowly tightening the circle, moving carefully, knowing their prey had nowhere to run. The bear turned, placing its body between me and the wolves, and let out a warning roar, a low sound that sent shivers down my spine. But the wolves didn't back off. The alpha male, a large leader with a scar across his muzzle, gave a sharp bark. The pack stepped forward together. The bear was faced with an impossible choice. Keep freeing me or defend us both. It turned firmly toward the wolves and rose again onto its hind legs, its massive figure towering above the ground. A thunderous roar burst from its chest, a sound filled with rage and determination. It wasn't just a growl, it was a clear message. I will protect him to the end. The alpha barked again. The wolves began to spread out, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. The bear couldn't guard every side at once. It turned toward the wolves on the right. One made a false lunge. The bear struck with its paw but missed. The second wolf darted in from the side, and the bear spun, driving it back. It was the pack's strategy to exhaust the enemy with fake attacks. While the bear was distracted, 2 wolves on the left began creeping toward me, low to the ground. I pulled at the ropes with all my strength. They were slowly loosening, but the wolves were already about 30 feet away, their yellow eyes glowing. The bear saw them, spun around sharply, and charged forward with a roar so powerful that birds burst out of the nearby bushes. The wolves jumped back. One snarled, showing its teeth, trying to lure the bear away from the tree. The alpha used the moment and leapt at the bear from behind. The bear sensed the danger and turned sharply, but the wolf had already sunk its teeth into his thigh. The beast roared in pain and fury, then shook off the attacker with a powerful blow. The wolf flew around 10 feet through the air, flipped, and landed on its paws, ready to attack again. I watched, completely helpless. My rescuer was fighting for both our lives, and I couldn't do anything to help. That only made the bear angrier. The beast went on the offensive, lunging powerfully first at one wolf, then at another. His paws tore deep grooves in the ground, his claws flashed. Every strike was deadly. A direct hit would kill instantly. The pack was retreating but kept circling, trying to split up and attack from different sides at the same time. The bear spun, growling, not giving them a chance to coordinate. One wolf was too slow. A swing of the bear's paw caught it mid-jump and sent it flying aside. The wolf whimpered, tried to get up, but its leg gave out. The gray predator limped away from the fight. The pack hesitated. Losing even one member changed everything. The bear didn't chase it. Instead, he took 2 heavy steps toward the alpha, rose to his full height, and let out a roar so loud the ground trembled. His jaws opened wide, massive teeth gleaming, front paws raised high, ready to crash down with devastating force. That changed the course of the battle. The alpha quickly assessed the situation. One wolf was wounded and unable to fight. The bear was clearly ready to battle to his last breath, and the prey wasn't worth the risk. He barked a sharp command. The pack began slowly backing away, never turning their backs on the furious opponent. The wolves slipped into the forest, their gray shapes fading into the shadows between the trees. But I could still feel them, somewhere nearby, watching. The bear stood still, breathing heavily, completely exhausted from the fight. From the wound on his thigh, dark drops of blood ran down, but his eyes still burned with unshakable fire. The beast listened carefully to the forest sounds, made sure the danger was gone, and then slowly turned to me. His gaze said clearly, he hadn't gone through all of this just to stop now. He approached, sniffed me to check if I was hurt, then looked again at the ropes. The bear let out a deep growl, a sound full of determination. The beast clamped his teeth on the weakened rope again and pulled with renewed strength. I helped as much as I could, jerking my hands, twisting my wrists. One rope snapped with a dull sound, then another. The pressure on my chest eased suddenly. The bear turned to the knots around my arms, working carefully to avoid touching my skin with his teeth. One more strong pull. The last loop broke. I fell forward, too weak to hold myself up. I collapsed onto the grass face down. The bear leaned down and sniffed me, checking if I was all right. With great effort, I crawled toward the tree trunk and leaned against it. The beast lay down beside me, just as exhausted. Blood still seeped from the wound on his thigh. I looked at the wound and knew I had to help. Nearby, abandoned by the poachers, lay my backpack. Using my last strength, I crawled to it and pulled out the first aid kit. The bear watched carefully, but didn't move away. "Easy, little one. Let me help," I croaked. I carefully cleaned the wound with antiseptic, then wrapped his thigh tightly with a bandage. The bear flinched but stayed still, as if understanding I was trying to help. When I finished, the beast made a quiet, low sound. Not a threat, but gratitude. We sat like that for several more minutes. 2 exhausted creatures who had survived deadly danger together. The bear was the first to stand up and looked at me. In his eyes, I saw exhaustion, but also satisfaction. The debt was repaid. I realized he was about to leave. Gathering my last strength, I reached out my hand. "Wait, little one." The bear stopped, took a step back toward me. I reached for his muzzle, ran my hand along it, scratching behind his ear just like I had done years ago. Then I found the scar on his side. "You've grown. You've become so strong." The bear closed his eyes for a moment and made a quiet, deep sound, as if saying, "I remember." I never forgot. His amber eyes met mine one last time, a long, meaningful look. The bear turned and walked toward the forest. He didn't look back, didn't stop. Between the trees, his dark figure faded into the green, leaving me safe and completely speechless. I remained sitting by the tree. Torn ropes lay around me, the ground marked with deep prints, silent witnesses to an incredible rescue. This was no coincidence. It was a lesson for life. Selfless kindness is never forgotten. The bear remembered the one who saved him when he was a helpless cub, and when his turn came, he risked everything to return the favor.
I hope you enjoy this clip as much as I enjoyed watching it. And if you do, please pass it along, and thanks for listening.